In the amazing story in Luke chapter 5, where Simon Peter and his team, his crew, if you wish, had fished all night and caught nothing, so they were rather disappointing. Catching nothing means there's no increase, no prosperity, good things aren't happening for you. Then Jesus says to Simon Peter, cast out your nets, plural. But then it says that Simon Peter cast out his net, singular. And so Jesus told them again to cast out their nets, but they just cast out a net because they were looking at the situation. Look, we fished all night and caught nothing, so there's no sense in throwing out a lot of nets because how much can we get anyhow? The point is this, that God had bigger faith for their business than they did for themselves. You remember, if you've heard me teach, that I focus so much on the fact that faith is not an effort. Faith is not something that we can produce, but faith is the faith of Jesus Christ. We live by the faith of the Son of God. And so as long as I'm trying to produce faith, as long as I'm trying to manufacture faith, then really I'm going to come up short, because in the back of my head it's going to be saying all the time like a broken record, what if nothing happens? What if nothing happens? What if nothing happens? And so where we step into the real faith, we step into the faith of Jesus Christ. And what I want you to see based on this story is that Jesus, who represents God, there's no difference between Jesus and God because Jesus is exactly like God. Jesus shows us who God is. So Jesus had bigger faith for Simon Peter's business than when he had for himself. Could that relate to you? Maybe you say, well, in my family, nobody's ever done this, or we've never seen that happen, or, none of my, I've always told that that's not for us. Could it be that God has bigger faith for you than you have for yourself? Well, how would you know? Well, here's what I do. I say, Lord Jesus, I acknowledge that I am useless when it comes to produce faith. I need the faith of the Son of God. So Jesus, I receive your faith. And very often, I begin to see things different. I begin to see things that looked impossible. Suddenly I see there's a possibility. What is that? It's the faith of the Son of God that is working in me. And so today on Jesus in 3, Jesus shows us God has bigger faith for you and for your circumstances than you do for yourself. So tap into the faith of Jesus.